Welcome to our video about the 90s pop culture history. The 1990s were a decade that saw significant changes in the world, and its impact was felt in many aspects of pop culture. In this video, we will take a trip down memory lane and explore the key moments and movements that define the 90s pop culture history. From the rise of grunge and hip-hop music to the emergence of new technologies and social movements, we'll delve into the many facets of this iconic decade. So sit back, relax, and let's revisit the 90s pop culture history together. Fashion. 90s fashion was defined by experimentation, individuality, and unique styles, ranging from grunge and alternative to hip-hop and streetwear. Some popular fashion trends included oversized denim jackets, crop tops, flannel shirts, combat boots, and platform shoes. Accessories included chokers, hoop earrings, and bandanas. Snapback hats, bucket hats, and visors were popular headwear options, and who could forget about the iconic inflatable backpacks and jelly sandals? The 90s saw the rise of many fashion icons who influenced the way people dressed. From supermodels like Naomi Campbell and Cindy Crawford to musicians like Madonna and TLC, these trendsetters defined the fashion of the decade. Music. The 90s music scene was incredibly diverse. Grunge, alternative rock, hip-hop, R&B, and pop were some of the most prominent genres of the decade. Legendary artists from the 90s include Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Radiohead, Tupac, Notorious B.I.G., and the Spice Girls. The 90s music videos and concerts were full of energy and creativity. Michael Jackson's Black or White and Madonna's Vogue were groundbreaking music videos that pushed the boundaries of the art form. The legendary Woodstock 94 and Lollapalooza festivals showcased the best of alternative rock and grunge, while MTV Unplugged sessions allowed fans to see their favorite artists in an intimate and stripped-down setting. Film and TV. From blockbuster action movies to sitcoms and dramas, the 90s had something for everyone. Will Smith, Tom Hanks, Julia Roberts, and Leonardo DiCaprio were just a few of the stars who made their mark in the 90s. The era also saw the rise of teen idols like Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt. Friends, Seinfeld, and The Simpsons are just a few of the classic sitcoms that defined the decade. Titanic, Forrest Gump, and The Matrix were some of the most successful movies, with Titanic becoming the highest-grossing film of all time at the time of its release. Technology. The 90s saw a rapid advancement in technology, from personal computers and the internet to mobile phones and video games. Some of the most popular gadgets and devices included the Sony Walkman, Game Boy, and Tamagotchi. The internet also became more accessible during the decade with the launch of popular websites like Yahoo, Amazon, and eBay. Video games became more popular and sophisticated, with titles like Super Mario 64 and Final Fantasy VII becoming cultural touchstones. Sports. The 90s produced many legendary athletes who became household names. Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kobe Bryant dominated on the basketball court, while Joe Montana and Brett Favre led their teams to Super Bowl victories. In baseball, Ken Griffey Jr. and Derek Jeter were among the most popular players of the decade. The 90s had many memorable sports moments that are still talked about today. Michael Jordan's flu game in the 1997 NBA Finals and his game-winning shot in the 1998 NBA Finals are two of the most iconic moments in basketball history. The 1999 Women's World Cup final between the United States and China, which ended in a penalty shootout, was a groundbreaking moment for women's soccer. Politics and news. The 90s was a decade marked by many significant political and news events. From the end of the Cold War to the impeachment of a president, the 90s saw many changes in the political landscape. Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush, and Newt Gingrich were among the most influential political figures in the 90s. The era also saw the rise of the Tea Party movement and the beginning of the LGBTQ+ rights movement. The Gulf War, the Waco siege, and the O.J. Simpson trial were just a few of the events that dominated the news cycle during the decade. The 90s pop culture continues to influence and inspire us today. Its impact can be seen in the fashion trends, music genres, and technological advancements of today. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the 90s pop culture history. We hope you've enjoyed the video, and we invite you to share your favorite 90s moments in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great videos.